Good day. How is everyone? Hi, Jeannie. Hello, CJ, and anybody else who may be joining. Today is April 30th, the last day of April in 2024, and I am back home again. And as you can see, I have a different stole on, and that is because, of course, I left my other one in New York, so that will be forthcoming at some point, but that's okay. We have others. And so let's get right into the reading today. And hopefully my daughter Rebecca is watching this morning. But if she isn't, I will tell her and anybody else who's struggling with dryness and aridness in their life, their prayer life. Okay, they still have this desire to know, love, and serve the divine family, the Trinitarian Theophany, but they're not receiving a response. Okay, so let's get right into it. We'll go morning prayers first, and then the reading and Mass. All right, and it's good to be back. In nomine Dei, matronum nostri, Deum Iesum Christum, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. And by the way, I hate to use the word person, but every person who enters into this road or onto this road, it's not the same identical path, but there are a lot of similarities, and yet there's other paths that are just completely different, and almost like the victim souls, for example. Their path is completely different. And again, we don't want to put everybody in the same basket, but there are similarities and things that you can learn from. I think of Maria and her struggles, and the demonic, and how people experience all these sufferings in different ways, and yet they stay the course, and that is the key. Okay, it's humility and perseverance. To me, are one of the two or the two biggest virtues that we must stick with. Thank you, Lucy, too, by the way, for your suggestion for a prayer intention. I'll read that today. And also for anybody who would like a topic for Friday for me to talk about, please suggest it. And maybe a day or so in advance so I can make some notes. Although I'm not too bad off the cuff, but sometimes it does come out better when I prepare. In nomine Dei, matronum nostri, Deum Iesum Christum, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Let us place ourselves in the presence of the Trinitarian Theophany and in Catholic contemplation humbly adore the divine family. I also wanted to mention, in case Anne is listening, there is a whole section on the website, ourladyisgod.com, about the Babylonian connection. And I say connection to the Jews, not to Catholicism. Okay, we have to understand that the quote-unquote Catholic religion was infiltrated, okay, by the Babylonian Jewish groups in order to take it over to run it. So there's that understanding that you have to have. But the original Catholic faith of Deum Matronam Nostra et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritus Sanctum is what we are about, which is the antithesis to that Babylonian evil stuff. You can just know it by the people and what our goals are. So again, let us place ourselves in the presence of God in Catholic contemplation, humbly adore the Trinitarian Theophany, most holy and venerable Trinity, one divine family. I believe that thou art here present. I venerate thee with the deepest humility. I render to thee with my whole heart the homage which is due to thee. O Trinitarian Theophany, relying on thine infinite goodness and promises, I hope to obtain the pardon of my sins, the help of thy grace, and life everlasting, through the merits of Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Matronam Nostrae. O Trinitarian Theophany, I love thee above all things with my whole heart and soul, because thou art all good and worthy of all love. I love my neighbor as myself for love of thee, and I forgive all who have injured me and ask pardon of all whom I have injured. Let us thank the Trinitarian Theophany for the many graces that we receive, and offer ourselves and our sufferings up to the divine family. O Trinitarian Theophany, I most humbly thank thee for all the favors thou hast bestowed upon me to the present moment. It is again thanks to thy bounty that I should live to see this day, and I desire to employ it solely in thy service. I consecrate to thee all my thoughts, words, actions, and sufferings of this day. Sanctify them, that there may be none that is not animated by thy love, or that would not tend to thy greater glory. Let us make a firm resolution to avoid evil and to do good, and let us beg of the Trinitarian Theophany the graces which are necessary to us. Thou knowest my weakness, and that I am unable to do anything good without the help of thy grace. Deny me not thy grace, O Trinitarian Theophany, proportionate to my necessities. Give me strength to avoid everything which thou forbiddest, to practice the good which thou hast commanded, and enable me patiently to bear all the trials which it may please thee to send me. O Deum Matronam Nostrae, I place myself under thy protection. I throw myself with confidence into the arms of thy compassion. Be to me, O Mother of Mercy, my refuge in distress and my consolation in suffering, now and at the hour of my death. O most holy Trinitarian Theophany, Deum Matronam Nostrae et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. I'm heartily sorry for having offended thee, and I detest all my sins, because I dread the loss of heaven and the pains of hell. But most of all, because they offend thee, O most holy Trinitarian Theophany, Deum Matronam Nostrae et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, who are all good and deserving of all my love. I firmly resolve, with the help of thy grace, to confess my sins, to do penance, and to amend my life. Okay, the next line of the benefits produced in the soul by this night of sense. Okay, so this isn't an actual line that we're reading, but this is talking about the benefits produced in the soul. This night and purgation of the appetite of such fair augury for the soul, by reason of the marvelous graces and benefits it endues her with, although she herself thinks, as we have said, that it rather deprives her of them. Okay, so that's the irony here, is that as you're going through this aridness and dryness and abandonment, what appears to be abandonment is actually you're receiving graces and benefits, only you can't feel them. Okay. There is rejoicing in heaven when at last the Trinitarian Theophany unswathes the soul from out of her swaddling clothes and lowers her from their arms, making her to walk on her own feet, and weaning her from the milk and soft honeyed food of children, gives her to eat of bread with crust, so that she may begin to relish the food of grown-up men, which in these drynesses and darkness of the senses, God, the Trinitarian Theophany, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, begins to give to the soul empty and barren of the substance of the senses, which is the infused contemplation we have mentioned. And this is the first and principal conquest of the soul, whence all the rest derive. Of these, the first is the knowledge of ourselves and of our misery, because apart from the fact that the Trinitarian Theophany generally bestows these benefits upon the soul, swathed about with this knowledge, these drynesses and emptiness of the faculties so different from the abundance she before enjoyed, and the difficulty she finds in devout matters, force upon her the knowledge of her own baseness and wretchedness, which in the season of her prosperity she was blind to. Remove this raiment, so that henceforth, seeing yourselves clad in vileness, you may know your own unworthiness and who you are. Whence also the soul comes to realize her own misery, which before was hidden from her, because in the season she went about holiday making, as it were, and found in the Trinitarian Theophany great delight and comfort and support. She proceeded with somewhat more of contentment and satisfaction, being convinced that to a certain extent her deeds were directed to the service of the Trinitarian Theophany. For although these people may not own it to themselves expressly, yet there is an inkling of something of the sort in the satisfaction they find in the delights bestowed upon them. But now, clad in this other sort of workaday garb of difficulty, dryness, and desolation, her former lanthorns dimmed, the soul possesses and acquires in downright earnest this so excellent and necessary a virtue of self-knowledge, and at last holds herself as naught and takes no sort of satisfaction in herself, because she sees that of herself she does and can do nothing. And this lack of satisfaction with herself and the affliction that overwhelms her in that she serves not the Trinitarian Theophany, the Trinitarian Theophany holds and esteems more highly than all the previous deeds and gustos she performed and experienced, however numerous they may have been, forasmuch as they exposed her to many imperfections and follies. And from this vesture of aridness proceeds not only that we have said, but also the benefits we shall now proceed to state, and many more which we shall leave unsaid, as from their origin and font, from the knowledge of ourselves. Okay, I'm going to stop there, and we'll start tomorrow with those benefits and the first, as to the first. Okay, and that one, just a little teaser. The soul is impelled to converse with the Trinitarian Theophany. Make a mark in there so I don't forget where I stopped. Now, there's a lot happening in the world too. Things are happening at a more rapid pace, and maybe that's what we'll talk about on Friday. Bank failures, more bank failures, the change in the financial system, and what they have planned or trying to plan for us, and we keep interrupting their plans, which is the good. That's what we're supposed to do. It gives us more time to set up the Catholic monarchy. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apud te. Oremus. O Trinitarian Theophany, Creator and Redeemer of all the faithful, grant to the souls of thy servants and handmaids the remission of all their sins, that they may obtain by loving prayers the forgiveness which they have always desired, who livest and reignest with thee, one divine family, forever and ever. Suscipe Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum hac amacalatum hostium, quam ego indinius famulus tuus offerit tibi Deum eum vivum et verum, pro in dividibus peccatis et offensionibus et negligencies meis, et promnibus circumstantibus sed promnibus fidelibus, catalocorum vivis aquae defunctis ut mihi et idis proficiat salutem. Deum quo humanis substantia dignitate mirabilitu condidisi et mirabilis reformaste da nobis spiritus acquaravim mysterium, eis divinitatis esse consortis qui minitatis nostrae, fieri de notis es protoceps Deum Iesum Christum Filium, qui tecum vivit et reinat, in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Offerimus tibi Deum calicem salutaris tuum deprecantis clementium, ut consueto divina majestatis tuae pro nostra totius mundi salute, cum adori suavitatis ascendat. In spiritu humilitatis et in animo contrito suscipiam arate Deum Iesum Christum, et sec fiat sacrificium nostrum et consueto tu hodie, ut placeat tibi Deum matronum nostrae Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Veni sanctificator, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, et sanctifici deblata prosequendo et accepere hoc sacrificium tuo sanctum nomine preparatum. Suscipe Sancta Trinitas Sancoblationem, quam tibi afferimus a memoriam passionis, resurrectionis et ascensionis Deum Iesum Christum, et in honorem Deum matronum nostrae et Papa Peter Sanctorum et Istorum et omnium Sanctorum, ut idis proficiat ad honorem, nobis autem ad salutem, et idi pro nobis intercedere in iter celis, quorum memoriam agimus in telis per Deum Christum Deum nostrum. Orate, ut meum ec vestrum sacrificium acceptabile fiat apud Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Suscipiat Deum Iesum Christum sacrificium de manibus tuis et laudam et gloriam nomini sui ad utilitatem quoque nostrum totiusque ecclesiae suae sanctae. Deum vobiscum, quoque apud te, sursum corda habemus ad Deum. Gratias agamus Deum nostrum, dignum et justum est. Te egito clementissime matere pater, te matrum nos et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per Deum Iesum Christum Filium tuum Deum nostrae, supplices rogamus ad petimus. Ut accepte habeas, et sanctificas, ex sanctam sacrificium idibata. In primis quae tibi afferimus pro ecclesiam tuam sanctam, catholicam, quam pacificare, custodire honore et regere dignitas tot orbi terrarum atque catholicae. Memento Deum famulorum tuorum. We pray for the sick and the suffering. We especially pray for Katie and Gage and Neil and Earl Lively, Maria Josephina Mose, Mark Jr., Henry Barbara Benedict Santa Croce, Robert Santa Croce, Becca Santa Croce, Casey, Mr. Nobody, Ann Botink, the Cantu and Duarte families, Laura, Jenna, Lena, Aaron and family, Maria and the Lineweber family, John Cahill and Mindy, the Dasco, Nye, Tafour, and Began families, and the Wolf families, and Todd Wolf. We pray for Mr. Nobody to receive the funding and strength needed to complete the first Sedevacantist Catholic Council office at Monastery of Illinois. We pray for an end to all governmental allowance or sanctioning of abortion, transgenderism, transhumanism, child trafficking, child abuse, human trafficking of any kind, anywhere, place, or time, and also medical abuse as well, with the forcing of medical lies upon the world. We pray for the establishment of a Catholic monarchy that can sift through all these lies and squash them. And with one with a sound Catholic system of labor, human value, medium of exchange, respect and dignity, and without usury. We pray for courageous men to step forward as leaders of this Catholic society. We pray to shut down all particle accelerators, gateways, and portals, and block any demons from entering our earth and our area of life. We ask Deum Maternum Nostrae et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum with this Mass to destroy the satanic document of Vatican law that is the Jewish Talmud. We ask you to destroy Rome and the Vatican and transfer the authority of the Catholic Church to Fatima. And we ask you to release the souls controlled by the demons Lilith and Asmodeus. Please also block the passage of any so-called pandemic treaty by the WHO, which is based on lies and aimed at removing the divine family's children's freedom to move and travel. That's us. We also ask to save or transfer the souls from under the dominion of any Jew or Freemason that gives support to Israel, and to help them to make public the evil deeds with which they are bound to do. And we also ask and pray for wisdom on how to prepare foods and grow natural fruit trees and vegetables and raise natural healthy animals without any need for injections. We pray to keep our food supply safe and away from government interference and lies. And we pray for the elimination of all harmful radiation waves. All these things we ask in accordance with God's holy and divine will. Et omnium circumstantium quorum tibi fides cognita est et nota devotio pro quibus tibi efferimus, per qui tibi offrunt hoc sacrificium laudis processuisque omnibus, pro redemptione animarum suarum prospes salutis et incolamitatis suae tibi credidum vota sua, eterno Deum vivo et vero, communicantes et mamone donorantes in primis gloriose semper Deum Maternam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Beatorum Martyrium Tuorum Papa Sancta Petri, et Sancta Lucia, et Sancta Jacinta, et Sancta Francisco, et Sancta Juan Diego, et omnem Sanctorum Tuorum Quorum meritis precibus, quae concedes ut in omnibus protectionis Tuae munium ad exilio per inum Christum Deum nostrum, quam oblatione ut Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum in omnibus consecratem acceptabilem quae fecedit ineris ut nobis corpum et sanguinem fiat dictissimi Filium Tuum Deum Iesum Christum, qui pridie quam pastoretur recepet panem in sancta sacramentis manus suas, et derivatis oculis in caelum ante Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum suum omnipotentem tibi gratias agens. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Consecravit frigid dique lumnis sui dicenza cipite et monducat ex hoc omnes. Hoc est enim corpus meum. Simili modo postquam ceremoniae est, accipienser hunc preclarum calicem in sancta sacramentis manus suas, item tibi gratias agens Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Consecrave dedique lumnis sui dicenza, cipite et bibite ex omnes. Hic est enim calix sanguinis mei, mysterium fidei, quae pro nobis et pro multis effundetur in remissione peccatorum. Equatus cum privilegiatis mei bona facietis. Unde et memores Deum nos servitui sed plebs tua, sancta eiustem Christum filium tuum Deum nostre, tambe et passionis nec non et ab inferis resurrectionis, sed et in celos gloriose ascensionis offerimus, preclare majestati Dei tuis doni sactatis, supraque propizio axare novotur spicieri digneris. Supplices te regamus Deum Patrem Spiritum Sanctum, ibi hic prefere per manus tuum, ut quod, ex hoc autaris participationis sacrosanctam Deum Filium tuum, corpus et sanguinem senemus, omni benedictione celeste et gratia Dei per amor per Deum Christum Deum nostre. We pray for those who have died, and we especially pray for Delia Fiocchi, for whom this Mass is being offered. Ipsis Deum et omnibus in Christum quiescentibus, locum refugere lucis et pacis odor geste proclamar per Deum Christum Deum nostrum. Per quem hic omnia Deum Iesum Christum semper bona creas, sanctificas, vivificas, consecratis et prestas nobis. Per ipsum et cum ipso et in ipso. Est ibi Deum matrum omnipotenti in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, omnis honor et gloria. Ave Dea matronam nostrae, gratia plena Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum tecum. Dea matronam nostrae, materam Deum Iesum Christum misericordia nobis, peccatoribus nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Libera nos quae sumus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, ab omnibus malis praeteritis presentibus et futuris, et intercedente beata gloriosa semper Dei matronam nostrae, cum Papa Petrum Sanctorum et omnibus sanctis do propitius pacem in diebus nostris. Ut opi misericordiae Tue aduiti et peccato simu, semper liberi et omni perturbatione securi. Per eundum Deum nostrum, Iesum Christum Filium Tuum Deum nostrum, qui tibi vivit et regnat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per aeternam. Pax Deum Iesum Christum sit semper vobiscum, hic quoque apud te, hic mixtio consecratio copris et sanguinis Deum Iesum Christum, fiat ecipidibus nobis in et salutem aeternam. Pax tecum, hic quoque apud te, Deum Iesum Christum, qui ex voluntate Deum matronam nostrae, qua prante Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per mortem tuum unum vivificasti, libera me per hoc sacrosanctum corpus et sanguinum tuum ab omnibus iniquitatibus meis et universis malis, et fac me tui semper in halare mandatis, et ati nunquam separari permittas, qui cum eodem Deum matronam nostrae et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum vivis et regnam aeternam. Percepto corporis tui Deum Iesum Christum, quod ego indinius summa repressimo non mihi proveniat in judicium condemnationem, sed pro tu pietate prosit mihi tutum metis corporis, et adem Deum percipiam qui vivis et regnas, cum Deum matronam nostrae in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. In panem celestem accipiem, et nomen Deum Iesum Christum invocabo. Deum matronam nostrum non sunt dignius, ut etius ut et meis, in tanto verba sapatronum mea. Deum Iesum Christum non sunt dignius, ut etius ut et meis, in tanto verba sapatronum mea. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum non sunt dignius, ut etius ut et meis, in tanto verba sapatronum mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima mea. Quid retribum Deum Iesum Christum pro omnibus quaeritud mihi, calicem sanctaris accipiam et nomen Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum evocabo. Laudans evocabo Deum matronum nostrum et ab inimicis mei salvacero. Sanguis Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima mea. Quod oris subsimus Deum Iesum Christum puramente capiam et sete munere tempore fit nobis remedium sempiternam. Corpus tuum Deum Iesum Christum, quod sumpsi et sanguis quam patuavi hervis mei se presta, ut in me non remeniat scela la macula quam pura et sancta ora fecienat sacramenta. Deum vobiscum, epoque apotei. Oremus. May the prayer of thy suppliants profit the souls of thy servants and handmaids, we beseech thee, O Trinitarian Theophany, that thou mayest free them from all sins and make them sharers in thy redemption, who livest and reignest with thee, one divine family, forever and ever. Deum vobiscum, epoque apotei. Ite mises, Deum gratia. Placia tibi sancta Trinitam obsequiem servitutis mea presta ut sacrificium coroculis, tue majestatis in unus auctoritibus et tapenem equiet omnibus, pro quibus idut optolicit miserante propitiae per Christum Deum nostrum. Sanctificat vos omnipotens Deum, Matronam et Filium et Spiritum Sanctum, Deum Matronam nostri et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. O Trinitarian Theophany, I believe, I venerate, I hope, and I love thee. I beg of thee pardon for those who do not believe, do not venerate, do not hope, and do not love thee. Most holy Trinitarian Theophany, Deum Matronam Nostrae et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. I venerate thee profoundly, and I offer to thee the most precious body, blood, soul, and divinity of Deum Iesum Christum present here in reparation for the outrages, sacrileges, and indifference by which he himself is offended, and through the infinite merits of his most sacred heart and the immaculate heart of Deum Matronam Nostrae, I beg of thee the conversion of poor sinners. In nomine Deum Matronam Nostrae et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. thank you for being here. Good day over there in Ireland. How are you, Denise? And let's see, put my glasses on to read the other kind. Okay, we gotta change our Latin there a little bit, but thank you very much. I appreciate your your compliment there. And Maria, good day. Okay, we're all here. Thank you for being here. And again, please go and sanctify all those who you meet. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll continue on with St. John of the Cross. And why do we say good day? Morning is from the morning star, which is Satan. So we don't want to give him any kudos when we begin our day. Okay, so that was the point of eliminating that. All right, we'll see you tomorrow, same time, 7:30. Be good.